Coming up on All My Beanies, this is Tim Pool. He loves chickens and thinks Kanye can become president.
What the does that mean, Kobe Bryant?
This is Kanye. He loves Nazis.
I love Jewish people, but I also love Nazis.
And Hitler.
I see good things about Hitler also.
Tim Pool tried to interview Kanye, but he walked out on him.
You leaving?
Are you afraid of the press?
This is Alex Jones. He loves vitamins and supplements. And cannibalism.
I will eat your ass!
Alex Jones interviewed Kanye, where he said some things.
Every human being has something of value that they brought to the table, especially Hitler.
Oh dear.
Oh, man. Well,
Will Tim Pool ever win his creepy man crush? Or will he have to keep living with his first love, his chickens, and himself? Don't miss another episode of All My Beanies.
Nobody goes up trail.
Take their wheels and leave them.
Nobody goes up trail.
Take their wheels and leave them.
Hey-ho, Silver, away!
Unknown caller. Spooky. Hello? Velma Dinkley speaking.
Hello, Velma. You like solving yourself a mystery?
Yeah, but I'm actually much more three-dimensional than that. Who is this?
This here Black Shaggy. You made the one black guy a drug dealer and a stoner. You gonna die, bitch.
Jinkies.
Nobody goes up trail.
Now, for the first time, you can own your very own Rings of Power. From the Kelleborn Smiths, we'll be sending you one per season. Molded to appear forged in the fires of Mount Doom. Made from the finest cubic zirconium, plastic, and metal that isn't measurably radioactive and won't turn your fingers green. Probably. Much. These can now be yours for 5 easy payments of $39.99.99 Elvish runes. Act now, supplies are limited, because once the Dark Lord Sauron takes over, they'll all be gone, and you'll be his slaves. And just remember,
There's a tempest in me,
whose fault this actually is.
and it will not be quelled.
Now streaming on Disney+. He's danced the hokey tokey with Tusken Raiders, relived the chase scene from Back to the Future Part 2. Now watch as the galaxy's most feared and badass bounty hunter relives the kitchen scene from Ratatouille. This show is getting to the point where Disney is just ripping off itself now?
You know who I am?
Seriously, what the hell is going on over at Lucasfilm? Any goodwill you were trying to win back is being completely squandered. Well, at least Ming Na Wen is nice to look at. Then watch as he gives Bantha scratchies and Tritos. Well, actually, that is the best part of this show. Tamura Morrison stars in the role that will eventually destroy his career in Kitchen Nightmare. What's next? Seriously, I don't even want to know at this point. But at least we get to see a Wookiee rip a guy's arm off. What happens when you combine a race-swapped Buffy the Vampire Slayer with low-rent lesbian Twilight fanfiction? You get a Netflix series that's canceled after one season. First Kill. Meet Juliet, a high school-age vampire who for some reason can still see herself in mirrors, walk around in daylight, and is still in high school, who falls in love with a Slayer named Calliope.
You're Calliope? Well, Cal's good.
Sure, why not? They then share a forbidden romance, just like those two. Well, maybe those two. Watch them take on other vampires, werewolves that look like bad CGI from 1995, and make out in the unsexiest way possible. You know, all you're doing is combining The Hunger, Twilight, and Buffy, and it's been done better. I mean, sheesh, you people. If you can't make lesbian vampires work on Netflix, then seriously, something is wrong here. Starring, whoever these people are. I really don't care anymore. But the mom was on Lost and a bunch of stuff you'll probably recognize. Don't miss When Animals Attack on Netflix. Now all we do is sit back and wait for the Axel Braun version, which will be 10 times better, believe me. Coming up on the CW, it's prom night, and love is in the air. Until it's time to throw down! Sam and Miguel share a tender moment. But look who's crashing the party! Watch as young couples share a romantic dance. And fight! And dance fight! Be sure to watch an extra special episode of Kung Fu High Prom Night!
Hey, everybody. I'm Simone on WNBC, 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 WNBC. 66, W668. How's it go? 66, WNBC, New York. I'm Simone on WNBC. So, there we go. There you go. WNBC News time is 3:14. How's it going, everybody? I'm in the morning. WNBC here. Oh boy, what a week it's been! What a week! What is it? It's week 14 NFL. How you like that? Let me tell you. I'm sick of Twitter. I really am. I really am sick of Twitter. I'm sick of the whole drama behind Twitter. I'm sick of. I'm just sick of everything. Sick of everything associated with that. Which is why I went down and got toothpaste today. No, I really. Yes, we can get cookies are going to be decorated today. After the stream. Yes, after the stream. So anyway, but again, I really am getting tired of Twitter. I just been watching guitar upgrades all day, well, most of the day. Some of the day, I watched one video before.
I'm watching Cloud Crane Machines and UFO.
Yes, I know.
Japan.
I know.
Why the hell we go to Japan?
Well, yeah, that's a whole other podcast. So I just watch Christmas Comes Once a Year. It's an old classic cartoon. I'm still looking for that Christmas special I used to watch when I was a kid around the holidays with the cats. Someone told me it might be Cats in Paris. I don't know. I vaguely remember. I'm gonna have to go and look through television listings for 74, 75. Yeah, we're gonna check in with the kitties, see what the kitties are doing. Mr. Naranja. Well, we're not gonna wake him up. He's gonna sit there. He's gonna be. There's Agent Orange Cat. He's being a good boy.
It's found that the vent blows right on him right there.
Yes. That blows right. Projects warm air right on there. Will the cookies be on sale after kind of like Girl Scout cookies? Probably not. Stop me from eating them. So there's the cat cam. He's being a good boy. We'll check on him later. Yep, he's sleeping. He's sleepy. He's so sleepy. He's so sleepy. He's meditating. Favorite Christmas is the film's Lemon Drop Kid with Bob Robodope. Hi, this is Bob for Texas. This is Bob for Texaco Hope here. Just your car to the man who wears the star. Well, I tell you, that Jay Leno, his chin is so big, you ought to put a condom on that thing. So, what else is going on? So, here's the thing. Okay, now listen. Where the heck is that James Gunn story? So, Wonder Woman. Oh, good God. Wonder Woman 3 apparently got the axe. Not apparently, it did get the axe. And Patty Jenkins got her Star Wars movie canceled. Apparently, Wonder Woman 3's reported cancellation involved behind-the-scenes issues with Patty Jenkins. Let's pull up a picture of Patty Jenkins, shall we? Patty Jenkins. I think Patty Jenkins has had some work done. Well, listen, I don't blame her. If you want to do something that's going to make yourself feel more confident, she's not an unattractive woman, but it does look like she's got something going on in the old sweater meat department, if you know what I mean. So yeah, take a look. I mean, listen, we'll take a look. You be the judge. You be the judge. Okay. Again, like I said, not an unattractive woman, but looks like she's got something a little something going on there. Looks like she's had a little enhancement, a little assistance. So. Funny squirrels and my grandmas have very intense conversation with each other. Yes, they chatter away, don't they? They just chatter away. So, okay. So, Wonder Woman 3 is not happening. Oh, that was a picture of Patty Jenkins, Gal Gadot. I can't keep up with how it's pronounced. And Linda Carter. As if Batgirl being scrapped wasn't already big enough, DC shakeup for 2022 yesterday brought word that Wonder Woman 3 has been reportedly canceled. It was among numerous items concerning where we stand with the future of DC media projects, and that DC Studios' James Gunn later responded to on social media. However, as far as Wonder Woman 3 is concerned, apparently its collapse involved behind-the-scenes issues with Patty Jenkins. And the catnip ball fell again. the filmmaker behind the first two Wonder Woman movies. After solely directing 2017's Wonder Woman, Patty Jenkins both picked up the helming reins, again for 2020's Wonder Woman 1984 and co-wrote the script with Jeff Johns and David Callahan. Jenkins had once intended to put pen to paper for Wonder Woman 3 and reportedly turned in a treatment to Warner Brothers Pictures. However, both Deadline and The Wrap report that the studio heads Michael DeLuca and Pam Abdi were not impressed with the threequel's treatment, with the former publications specifically saying that the pitch had character arc problems which rivaled that of Wonder Woman 1984. Michael DeLuca and Pam Abdi allegedly gave Patty Jenkins notes for her Wonder Woman 3 pitch, but Jenkins refused to implement them, arguing there wasn't anything about her creative vision that needed to be improved. Oh, look, somebody is so full of themselves, aren't they? Although Jenkins was given the opportunity to pitch a different treatment for the next Wonder Woman movie, she decided to leave the project, not even wanting to hear what DC Studios co-chairman, CEOs James Gunn and Peter Safran had to say on the matter, even though they had nothing to do with the decision to send back the treatment. As for where things currently stand, Gal Gadot is still attached as Wonder Woman, whom she's been playing since 2016's Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice. There's the possibility that Gadot will stick with the role, as she might have indicated in social media post a few days ago. And that Wonder Woman 3, could be reborn in a new form with a different filmmaker spearheading it. On the other hand, considering how closely she and Patty Jenkins work together, there's also a scenario where Gadot walks away from the Wonder Woman. Either way, right now, the character's film future is up in the air. Although allegedly Gadot is cameoing in The Flash next year. While the first Wonder Woman movie was a critical and commercial success, pulling in over $822 million worldwide and ranking 93% on Rotten Tomatoes, Wonder Woman 1984 didn't impress on either front. Granted, the great toilet paper shortage of 2020 resulted in 1984 being delayed multiple times, and when it did open in theaters, it was released simultaneously on HBO Max to subscribers. So box office-wise, it only made over $169 million giggity worldwide, and it was met with critical reception, earning 58% tomatometer. What's a tomato meter? Whatever. Gadot's Wonder Woman also appeared in both cuts of Justice League. Should a different version of Wonder Woman 3 get off the ground, or we officially learn where Gadot's Diana of Themyscira will pop up next, Cinema Bland will pass along that news. Until then, take a look at the upcoming DC movies coming our way. What are those DC movies? Upcoming DC movies. Full rundown. Black Adam. Okay, Shazam. The Flash. Oh, they've pushed the Flash up a week. They pushed the Flash up a week to compete with another one. So Joker, Static Shock, Wonder Woman 3, Amazon, Zatanna, a lot of these. Hey, where does Jughead Abrams now stand? That's here. J.J. Abrams' Ta-Nehisi Coates Superman movie. It remains unclear what has become of Henry Cavill Superman, especially with the features of Ezra Miller's Flash, Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman, Jason Momoa's Aquaman being open-ended. But that's not stopping Warner Bros. From developing a new version of Man of Steel in the meantime. In February 2021, it was announced that Jughead Abrams is set to produce a new Superman blockbuster through his Bad Robot banner. And Ta-Nehisi Coates, who has written Black Panther and Captain America comics in recent years, has been tapped to pen the script. While little is known about the project, it is expected that it will feature the first Black Superman of interpretation of the legendary hero. I imagine that it's not happening. Now that James Gunn is coming in, and James Gunn is more successful, is very successful in his own right, I imagine that the Black Superman movie is not happening. Zaslav is ruthless, Rob, but he has But you know what? He has to be with all those woke shit going on. Yeah, well, we get countless shit DC Marvel movies, but no Dread. Actually, the Dread movie is supposedly rumor has a Dread sequel is in the work. Let me see. I heard somewhere there's supposed to be a Dread sequel. The Dread sequel is supposed to be back in development, allegedly. Small Screen. This is from a website called Small Screen. So take it with a grain of salt. Take it as you will. But it's claiming the Dread sequel is in development. Dread 2 in development with Carl Urban returning. It's being reported that Dread 2 is currently in development, and rumor is that Carl Urban will be returning to play the Ritual character, which I think is terrific news. This report comes via Giant Freaking Odds from Giant Freaking Robot. And I haven't heard anything about this rumor anywhere else, so you can be forgiven for taking this with a pinch of salt. That said, there's been talk of making a sequel to Dread for years. The first movie was written by Alex Garland, projected by Peter Travis. It went to become a huge cult hit and easily the best Dread movie ever made. Well, there's only ever been one other Dread movie, right? I mean, that said, it's not like the movie was facing tough competition in that department. The first Dread movie starts Sylvester Stallone, and it wasn't very good. You got that right. And the movie was released in 1995, and critics didn't receive it well. Audiences didn't seem to like it all that much. Dread 2 might be happening with Carl Urban returning. Carl Urban's star has certainly been on the rise since starring as Judge Dredd all the way back in 2012. He's since been in a Marvel Studios movie, and he's been making waves in the industry as Billy Butcher in Amazon Prime Video's series The Boys. He's terrific in that role, even though his English accent, well, he's Australian, isn't he? Is a bit meh. I love him in that role and happy to hear that he's making more seasons of The Boys. I also think Urban was born to play the character. Is one of the reasons. Okay, so this goes on about this guy. Yeah, let's take a look at Giant Freaking Robot here. Like I said, it's Giant Freaking Robot's not the most reputable source. Oh, he's from New Zealand. Okay, he's Kiwi. Oh, see Brie Larson in a bikini sweating it out. I'd rather not. She's scary. She's not an attractive woman. Listen, I know there's an ass for every seat, but she's not an attractive woman, inside or out. There have been rumors that Judge Dredd franchise was set to continue. New series is being discussed called Judge Dredd Mega City 1. However, there have been no mention of who was going to be cast in the titular role, leaving behind the idea that a sequel to the hit Dredd movie was also not going to happen. Now, through our proven sources, we can report that Dredd 2 is moving forward with Carl Urban. It is not often that a reboot is seen as a better version of the original, but that is not the case for Dredd. 2012 Urban came in a role of Judge Dredd in a big way, making a lot of people forget about the Sylvester Stallone led 1990s movie. That's not to say Stallone was terrible in that role, but Dredd 2 moving forward with Carl Urban is far more exciting to think about. Bringing Dredd 2 bringing back Carl Urban is also exciting, as the man has been campaigning to return to the role recently. During GQ videos on YouTube, what stars break down the most iconic roles, Urban stated he had hoped he was going to be called about being Judge Dredd again, but would also be happy just seeing the franchise move forward. This also does beg the question about Urban's role in future Dredd projects, like the previously mentioned Mega City 1 series. Dredd 2 securing Carl Urban could mean that it's meant to portray Judge Dredd in the expanding universe that seems to be getting put together. Urban's been fantastic as Billy Butcher in The Boys, Amazon Studios. Okay, we know that. Dredd 2 sequel could lead to Urban taking on the role as well, which would also be fantastic. Well, Rebellion, the people who make Rebellion makes a lot. Rebellion owns the Judge Dredd character. And listen, I'm not that well versed. I read Judge Dredd comics for a few years. I'm not that well versed in Rebellion, but they do a lot of video games. They publish a lot of video games, and they had purchased a gigantic soundstage not that long ago. And they were they're supposed to they're now listen, somebody who's listening overseas, help me out. Rebellion is a huge company, aren't they? You?
No, she got it.
Okay.
After like 50 tries. Trying to get back. It's so cute.
I mean, yeah, this was from about 4 or 5 years ago. Rebellion spends $100 million. Yeah, this is how this. See, this is the great thing about a live show. You never know where it's going to go. And honestly, I'd rather talk about this than Twitter. Rebellion. Yeah, Rebellion spends $100 million on new film studios to space to help with Rogue Trooper movie, Judge Dredd TV series. Yeah. Rebellion co-founder is CEO. Okay, Rebellion. Rebellion has taken a forked out. He'll make a Rogue Trooper movie. I actually liked Rogue Trooper a little more than I did Judge Dredd. I thought it was a more interesting story. And it's huge. It's kind of the same sort of idea. It's this huge, exaggerated world. All the technology is exaggerated. Everything about the world is exaggerated. But I don't know what happened to this space. I don't know if they still have it. Let me see if they have. Let me see if there's any news about this. Rebellion Limited British video game based Oxford Rebellion Developments. Who owns Rebellion? Rebellion is owned. Okay, well, Rebellion receives funding from HSBC. Opens new HQ. A figure package will help UK firms expand, establish a new office. Let me see if there's any news in this. What my opinion on the Boys TV series? I've never seen the Boys. I haven't seen the Boys yet. I may at some point, but right now I got like video games on my plate and stuff like that, you know. So, pardon me. Hold on. UK studio Rebellion has received a funding package from HSBC in order to scale up its business and open a bigger headquarters. 8-figure sum has enabled the outfit to purchase a new HQ in Oxford, which is more than twice the size of its current main office. It'll support the expansion of the firm's studios in Didcot. I hope I pronounced that right. Or Didcot or Didcot, or I don't know how to pronounce that. Correct me if I'm wrong. On development side, Rebellion has used funding to fuel new entry to the Sniper series, Sniper Elite 5. Okay, so this is a little while ago, which is due to release in early 2022. It's out. I haven't played it yet. I love the Sniper Elite games, though. It will also increase investment in virtual production capabilities. The exact figure of the funding package was not disclosed. HSBC UK reported the business as we prioritize our wider growth strategy, said the Rebellion CEO Jason Kingsley. The new site in Oxford is the key element of this and will allow us to continue and to hire additional staff, as well as providing increased space for our offices and creative studios. The funding has allowed us to remain agile and invest in new technology as we work within the industry that is constantly evolving. Creativity is at the heart of what we do, and support from HSBC has given us the freedom to continue to champion us. HSBC Relation Director Roger Mould Added, Rebellion is a major developer in the video game industry, and we are pleased to support this global business as it continues to grow. The industry provides ample opportunity for innovative companies such as Rebellion to capitalize on increased demand. We look forward to continuing this support as the business goes from strength to strength. But it doesn't say anything about what happened to the Rogue Trooper movie. Well, if there's a sequel to Judge Dredd, Rebellion's probably going to be involved. I mean, Rogue Trooper. Rogue Trooper has an official Twitter account, which I will follow. Okay. Director Duncan Jones gives update on Rogue Trooper. This is dated 2019. See, this is to me is more interesting. I'm surprised they haven't made a Dread game. Didcot is pronounced as it is spelled. Okay, thank you. Rebellion actually has a YouTube channel called Modern History TV, which focuses on medieval life, and you pronounce it right the first time. Oh, good. Biggest independent multimedia studios. Next Judge Dredd movie better be about Judge Cal, that lunatic. Well, hey, let's hope so. You can't do Judge Death right away, though. That's the thing. Rogue Trooper update. Duncan Jones is currently celebrating 10th anniversary of his directorial debut with Sam Rockwell starring science fiction movie Moon, but the filmmaker is hoping to soon celebrate the start of production of his latest project, an adaptation of the Future War comic strip Rogue Trooper. We're in an exciting bit right now, concept arting out some of the elements of the script, says Jones, whose other credits include source code and last year's Mute. That script is really looking pretty good now. It's getting to the point where we're going to have to start casting and making the thing. It really does look very good. Rogue Trooper is a genetically engineered soldier whose rifle, helmet, and backpack contain downloads of 3 fallen comrades, Gunner, Bagman, and Helm, created by writer Gary Finley Day and Watchmen artist Dave Gibbons. The character originated in the pages of the British sci-fi comic 2000 AD, title which also brought us the iconic Megacity 1 cop Judge Dredd. That character was played by Sylvester Stallone in 1995, panned by critics. Judge Dredd, and again played by Carl Urban, much more like a debut, but financially unsuccessful Dredd. Okay, can Jones crack the source code with his Road Trooper film? I think we've come up with a really smart way to approach it. He says, hopefully we've learned lessons from the previous 2000 AD films where they were not loyal to what the original comic was, or in Dredd's case, done just slightly too big a budget to actually be successful. Even though the film was critically well received, I think we've kind of hit the nail on this one. So it looks good. It looks that we'll get to make it, and I think people are going to really like it. Well, one of the pitfalls of a Rogue Trooper movie is going to be that the technology might be so over the top and so exaggerated, so outlandish, so outrageous, that it might just come across as looking goofy on screen. That's one of the problems. Let me see if I can find some concept art, Rogue Trooper movie concept art. Let me see if I can see some. Oh, okay. Let me see if I can find this. Okay, Rogue Trooper. Let me see if this is actual concept art or if it's Rogue One concept art. Rogue One concept. No, I don't want to see Rogue One concept art. I see Rogue Trooper concept art. But see that. But the other thing too is it's not really a superhero movie. It's a war story. Well, war stories would probably do very well. War stories are relatable to a lot of people. In the game, I did play the game and I did buy the game. Hey, would anybody? I did buy Rogue Trooper Redux. Okay, would anybody like to see me stream Rogue Trooper Redux on Twitch or on YouTube? And it also does have an online mode. I know I've been probably been saying I got to stream Hitman. I got to stream Hitman. How about? Well, I have that.
Star Wars would be more interesting to watch.
You think Star Wars?
Star Wars is more interesting to watch.
I also bought Jedi Fallen Order.
You should stream Jedi Fallen.
Yeah, I also bought Jedi Fallen Order for $5, for the hefty sum of $5 for the price of a cup of coffee a day.
You should stream that.
Like I said, I got a bunch of games. I can stream. Hitman, Rogue Trooper. I also downloaded Destroy All Humans Clone Carnage. Zabu. Oh, wait, we got a cat cam moment. We got a cat cam. I go, cat cam. I need a bumper. Cat cam. So there he is. There he is. There he is. So Zabu, or as I call him, Rabbi Lawrence Tiberius Ulysses Cornelius Aloysius Zabamofu Rabinowitz. There he is. Lawrence Zabamofu. And there's Naranja. And back to Zabamofu. Yeah, he's a chubby boy. He's a chubby boy. He fits. I'm surprised he actually fits in there. Yeah, that's not going to stay. I tried. So there you go. There's cat cam. So I can just turn it on and off whenever I feel like it.
You just leave it on. He's just gonna.
He's just gonna sleep. Live exclusive Zabu at large. Yeah, I've been taking advantage of various Steam sales. Like, oh geez, like 98 cents for Operation Flashpoint Cold War Crisis. I wonder if that's really worth a buy. That's actually one of my favorite, Operation Flashpoint Cold War Crisis. It's called Arma Cold War Crisis. It's made by the same exact company. But actually, I'm curious which Arma games are on sale. I have Arma 3. Xander Hammerslag is in the chat. How you doing? I didn't do a roll call. I'll try to thank everybody. No, you're not. Modern history, yeah. Zabu at sleep. Well, it's his natural state. He's usually begging for food. Is that food? Is that for me? It's not for me. Why is it for me? Yeah, he usually dreams about food. Floor cheese, food. Whatever. No, he knows he's being talked about. He knows he's being talked about. I mean, he knows we're talking about him. So Arma 2.
I'm getting the stuff set up.
Yeah, so we're getting stuff set up for cookies.
For the decorating part.
Mm-hmm.
This is the hard part.
The CPU cores, maximize your frames per second. Maximize frames CPU core, isolate cores, and constrain OS. Okay, well, that looks too. I'm not going to tamper with that. All right. So anyway, let's go. So there's a bunch of different games I can play here. So. But like I said, the Rogue Trooper game, I'm curious as if when I'm trying to find more information as what Rebellion. Oh, no, I'm talking about Rebellion Media, the guys who make Rogue Trooper and Dread. I'm sad enough to know what HSB stands for. Yeah, it stands for a massive fraud. HEC is yeah. So I'm not finding Let me see. Rebellion Studio, Oxford. Rebellion Developments. Oh, they actually have a website, Rebellion Film Studios. Okay, let me share the page here. There's Larry Zabamofu. He's stirring. He's stirring. He's doing something. He's doing something. Let's see what we got here. So here is Rebellion Film Studios thing here, their webpage. Games, board games, news, help center, press, comics, 2000 AD, books, Rebellion Publishing, abandoned books. Yeah, so they a lot of, pretty big. They do VFX. So they're in VFX here, showreel, Zombie Army, Legion of the Dead, Cinematic Trailer, Evil Genius. Oh, they worked on Evil Genius too. I played that a little bit. Virtual production. They do motion capture. They have stages here. So yeah, so a lot of stuff is related to video games. Costume. Somebody's snoring. Did Cut Studios. And the ranger was snoring. You go. So, formerly Flame, our rental service has been featured in productions such as Saving Private Ryan, The King's Speech, and World on Fire. We are now process developing inventory catalog. Okay, so they do costuming. They do a lot of stuff here. So just because you're not hearing them make movies doesn't mean they're not doing stuff. So, okay, Sniper Elite, and there's their homepage, Sniper Elite, TV and film. So, PlayStation Revolution. Okay, so yeah, so they're busy. They're busy doing stuff. Steam keys. They sell Steam keys. They're going to sell Steam keys. Oh yeah, they're the developer. Why wouldn't they sell Steam keys? They just sell them direct. Sniper Elite for $79. You can probably get it on sale. Better price somewhere else. Sorry to say that, guys, but yeah, I can find better prices elsewhere. You're overpaying to buy it directly from you. So okay, so that's Rebellion. They're busy. Did you see that crazy kid snuck on stage at the Video Game Awards? Started talking about Bill Clinton being an Orthodox rabbi. Actually, I hadn't heard about this. Cosmic Yog Sloth is sick and he's clapping with tentacles. Oh, we wish you a speedy recovery. So okay, so what is it? It's 3:49. Let me just say, since before I got sidetracked, let's see. I was gonna do what else was I gonna do? What else was I gonna do? Okay, so the whole thing about I was talking DC. I got sidetracked the Rogue Trooper and Rebellion. Let me bring it back on track. The asshat known as Trevor Noah is gone from the Daily Show, and thank God. he is not funny. He was not funny. They went as far as to bury his first 3 appearances. So now we get, oh my God, the New Yorker, how the Daily Show squandered the opportunity that was Trevor Noah. So we're starting to admit it. Let me see. Hold on. See how Trevor in a 7-year run, Trevor Noah. Yeah. So they're finally admitting it now. He was never an opportunity. Yes, MH. Please link me to that. Please link me to that while I do this other story. Only occasionally did the series fully deliver on its initial promise of using Noah's outsider gaze to satirize America. Trevor Noah was introduced to stateside viewers as an outsider, a foreign observer who could see America more clearly than it could see itself. On his first appearance on The Daily Show in late 2014, the program's host at the time, Jon Stewart, emphasized the South African comedian's background when presenting him as the series' new correspondent. Noah, who already enjoyed a large following outside the U.S., wielded his origins to critique Western assumptions about his native continent, that it's one giant village full of AIDS, huts, and starving children, and to deflate American exceptionalism. Later in the segment, he pictured an African mother chiding, "Be grateful for what you have because there are fat children starving in Mississippi." Yes, and with that kind of humor, it's hard to see why he didn't take America by storm. Noah's first two, you notice they don't mention anything about his second appearance where he just bombed spectacularly. No, and I didn't download it because at the time I didn't have the means to download it. The video downloader wasn't a thing. Noah's first two Netflix specials released after he took over as host of The Daily Show the following year fleshed out his stage persona as that of boundlessly curious globetrotter. Their most memorable moments add up to a travelogue, meeting Black Americans who romanticize the motherland of Africa, trying tacos for the first time, feeling guilty about taking part in poverty porn. Huh? Okay. While vacationing in Bali, many of his cross-cultural anecdotes are self-deprecating, but when he tells the story of an incident in Indonesia that involves a snake show gone awry, he is relatably self-righteous about not getting too close to the stage. Because you see, as a black person, culturally, I'm trying not to die. That's how he sounds. The journey continues in his most recent special, the relatively anemic I Wish You Would, released last month. And it's actually, I watched a little bit of this. It's actually funnier if you rewrite his punchlines. It really is. Because the punchlines are just so lame and so stale and so banal. If you can just rewrite them and they're a lot funnier. Anyways, which builds to a story about the time he Trudeau'd, i.e. embarrassed himself, displaying an over-eagerness to embrace the trappings of a culture not his own, a la the Canadian Prime Minister, while ordering food at an Indian restaurant in Scotland. Who is going to understand that? Who is going to understand? Who is going to... Listen, as someone who's performed stand-up is... Comedy is about some things you relate to. It's about things you relate to, situations you relate to. Everybody has that boss who's a dickhead. Everybody has that coworker who's a jerk. Everybody's been stuck in traffic. Everybody has had come home and they've argued with the wife, or you have a mother-in-law that you don't get along with, or you have bratty kids, or you see something that's like, hey, that's unusual. Or you see a bratty kid running around in Walmart.
Not everybody's been to Scotland and know about German.
I'm going to talk about going to Scotland, and I'm going to talk about ordering in an Indian restaurant. And everybody's gonna know what that's like. I'm so clever. They're going to call me Clever Trevor.
See, I've been to Scotland.
Oh. Who's Trevor Noah? Sorry, my ignorance. He took over as host of The Daily Show from Jon Stewart, a show which I loved. Okay. And I always say, if you ruin something of mine, I will hate you forever. Noah concluded a 7-year run at The Daily Show this week to end an awkward fit for a role that admittedly was near impossible to fill. Not that he didn't succeed in remaking the Comedy Central mainstay close to his own image. The current iteration of the series is flashier and fleeter than it was in the Stewart years, with an with an audience that skews younger and more diverse. But because Noah has set such a high cerebral bar for himself through his specials, his specials aren't funny, as well with his excellent 2016 memoir, Born a Crime, the title refers to his mixed race parentage and under illegal apartheid. It often felt like he was coasting on The Daily Show. This impression was bolstered by the revelation in recent Hollywood Reporter profile that the comedian spent weekends touring and generally avoiding political commentary in his own stand-up. During Stewart's heyday, it was obvious that he poured his intellect into the show. In contrast, Noah's tenure, which encompassed the Trump administration and the pandemic quarantine years, often gave the sense of complacency with a host who seemed much smarter than his material he doled out. Well, you know what? He's dumbing it. He must figure, I'm so smart, I'm going to have to dumb it down for the plebs. The plebs aren't going to understand me. They're not going to understand. I'm just too smart for them. I'm way too smart. Yeah. He's deliberately trying to dumb down the show. Among Stewart's many innovations on The Daily Show was his unbiased willingness to be himself, or at least a version of himself. His fake news, as the program once billed itself before Trump's appropriation of the phrase, was delivered by fake newsmen with no need for a pretense of a view from nowhere objectivity. On our screen, Stewart was a regular guy from New Jersey, as well as a political junkie who couldn't believe that the news professionals were taking politicians and their claims, including those that led to the Iraq War, at face value. Stewart took things personally. His late-night successors, his former correspondents, emulated that authenticity. John Oliver has always been the first to mock his own pasty Englishness. Samantha Bee got angry on behalf of women who spoke to women's issues, and Hassan Minhaj fearlessly tackled global politics considered niche by mainstream American audiences, such as Indian politics and Saudi Arabia's human rights abuses. You can easily believe that Seth Meyers, too, as a former Saturday Night Live head writer and host of the topical Weekend Update segment, has an insatiable doom-scrolling habit. Even Jimmy Kimmel, who's previously seldom counted among most more ideological cohort, has used his young son's health crisis to plead for more sensible healthcare system. Well, there it is. Noah was relying too heavily on his Trump skits, which became predictable and boring. Yeah, I did actually say about that. Dave Chappelle, I think it was Dave Chappelle that said the problem with Donald Trump is he made a lot of bad comedians famous. He did, and he couldn't. And we're seeing now a lot of people have trouble adjusting to life after Trump. While political comedians have generally leaned into intensity and obsessiveness that Stewart cultivated in his calling card, Noah stands apart. His charisma lies in his coolness and detachment. His view is from somewhere, but it's also decidedly anthropological. As the Times observed in a tribute, Noah's worldliness expanded late night's geographical imagination. But that's the problem. That is the problem. Listen, you're doing a show about American news, American politics, American media, and the people that report on it. And where Jon Stewart would say, we're like, come on, we're better than this. Where Jon Stewart's anger was genuine. He couldn't believe it. He could we're supposed to be better than this. Why aren't we better than this? You know, Trevor Noah would sit back and he's like, I can't believe it. Why are Americans so stupid? Americans are so stupid. And aren't I adorable? Please like me. Please like me. I'm begging you. I'm being beaten in ratings by women's basketball. Nobody watches women's basketball. Oh God. It's psychotic. Like I said, it's psychotic. It is. It really is. I mean, you'd think preachy leftist political hacks masking as comedians are a pain in the senses. Yeah, they are. They are. And like I said, it just became so easy. Orange man bad. Orange man bad. You know. As the Times observed in a tribute, Noah's world is expanded, but he rarely came off as But here we go, right here. See, right here. But he rarely came off as caring on a gut level, let alone on Stewart's ulcer level, about the blow by blow of American horse race politics. Only occasionally did he fully deliver on that initial promise of using outsiders' gaze to illuminate, or more sharply satirize, America, as when he compared Trump in a celebrated early viral hit to an African dictator. And people still bring that up. Oh, this is where he made the show his own. Yeah, he had one moment. There was a guy named Len Barker who threw a perfect game for who was it, for the Indians? See, even I forget. Len Barker. He played, fluke one-hit wonder. Yeah, he threw one perfect game for the Cleveland Indians. And we're not supposed to say Indians anymore. But like I said, yeah, people have one song, one-hit wonder. Whitetown, that Judy guy, was it Judy, J-O-D, whatever his name? Some Indian guy. Yeah, Whitetown. Some will say Noah's tenure simply wasn't funny. And that some is me. And you, and Zabu, and Agent Orange Cat, and Dim Sum. As a viewer who has tuned in to the vast majority of his episodes, owing to the fact that The Daily Show has been a fixture pretty much all my adult life, I'm inclined to agree with that assessment. Finally! But the larger letdown may be that his Daily Show persona never fully solidified into one that inspired a sense of connection. His facade seemed too often like a crowd-pleasing pastiche, jokes about things African moms say, jostled with made-up remembrances of generic college experiences that pandered to audience members who seemed all too eager to see themselves in Noah. Again, we're getting to another, like, I want to see myself on screen. One of his most reliable and most irksome phrases was, on the other hand. He'd assert something, then in the next breath, champion the opposite stance with equal fluidity. The both sides isms could come across as humble and nuanced. Just as often, it suggested indifference, a lack of investment in arriving at a truly considered conclusion. Every individual contains multitudes, but because Noah's biography has come to comprise a greater part of his public persona than those of his peers, and because we've counted distillations of his comedic voice through his specials, the gap between what he offered on The Daily Show and what he's capable or was ever distracting, that might be the main reason, aside from the finitude of days in a week, that his fellow hosts appear to have simultaneously pursued brand honing their careers. Stewart treated The Daily Show like a calling. Noah just seemed like he was there to do a job. See, that's the thing. That's the thing. You can't, and people might disagree, but you can't have a foreigner. And listen, I hate saying it like that. You can't have a foreigner, come in and say, Americans, why are you Americans so stupid? Why are you Americans? You Americans are so stupid. It's not like this in South Africa. You can't insult people about how they're doing things wrong and then say, you're so stupid. You're so stupid. Now please watch my show. Americans are so stupid. They don't even know what South Africa is. Trump is stupid, and Americans voted for him. Donald Trump is orange. Donald Trump is so stupid. What material? And that was imagine hearing that 4 nights a week. Imagine hearing that 4 nights, and you wonder why he lost 80% of the audience. At its height, what were the ratings for his final show? I'm curious. Let's go to Showbuzz Daily. Showbuzz. Let me see what the ratings were for his final show. TV ratings, cable ratings. Okay, Thursday. Here we go. What were the ratings for his final show? So I've got the rate. Oh God, it's not even. It's not. Is it not even in the? Oh God, it's not even in the top. Oh my God. Oh good God, you got to be kidding me. Well, granted, it's not the cultural event that Jon Stewart leaving was, but the guy's last show. How many do you think people? How many people do you think tuned in?
Half as many as Batman.
Actually, you're probably no, not
150,000.
no. It's more than more than Batwomen.
300,000.
Now, okay, you're not that far off. He didn't even finish in the top 40. He came in 41st out of 150 rated programs. He had okay. Now this number here represents these numbers here. This represents the age breakdown. Okay,
Tucker Carlson's number 2.
Tucker Carlson number 2. Yeah, number 2. 3 million, 3.1 million. This is the P rating. This is the percentage of houses 1849 in America that are tuned in, the number of TVs. Okay. Granted, we're a big country, but okay. So Tucker Carlson has of the people watching, he has this is the age breakdowns though. 18 to 49, he has about 0.19%. Of the total audience, he has 0.14. The female audience, 18 to 49. Male audience is 0.25 of the audience. 18 to 34, 0.05%. But we get down to this number. This is the live viewing numbers, okay? This last here. This is 3.121. 3 million. Now, for a cable news program in America, that's a lot to have 3 million viewers. That is a lot. So we go down here, Sports Center, College Football Awards, college football. He got beat by the College Football Awards. First Take, NFL Game Day, Kickoff. Okay, that's 500 Heisman Trophy Awards. Okay, 3. Okay, Jesse Waters Live, 2.8 million. So we keep going. 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 443,000 people. You couldn't break 500,000 on your final show. You schmuck. You absolute schmuck. If comedian Joe Lissette spent some time in the USA to get a sense of how things may work, he may work as a foreign Daily Show host. Obviously a risk. Well, that's the thing. That's the thing. John Oliver spent a couple of years actually learning the show, learning what the country's like. That's it. You can't just throw someone in cold. I'm going to have to look up Joe Lissette now. Okay. That's part of the problem. I'll look him. I'll go watch him actually later. Harder doing this. Got less than Mountain Men. Yeah. What a waste giving that guy a platform. Not even 500,000 in your last show. So let's get back to the remaining of this article. But that's the thing. Even if you didn't agree with Stewart, you could still watch him and say, yeah, you know what? He's got a good point. Every individual contains multitudes, but no, okay. Meanwhile, the Daily Show trope, sitting behind a desk, flitting through the day's headlines, provided only a fitful showcase for Noah's most exceptional gifts as a comedian, such as his physicality and his extraordinary ear for accent. He didn't do good accents. He speaks 7 languages, and in Afraid of the Dark, his Netflix debut, he runs through at least 10 accents. He's not funny in any of them. Noah seemed to reserve his unregarded moments for online only between the scenes clips, in which he spoke off the cuff about his personal experiences and took questions from the studio audiences on debates of the day. After Queen Elizabeth's death, for example, he addressed the lack of mourning among many Britain's former empire. You can't expect people to show respect for something that never respected them. In these snippets of candor, he was thoughtful and authoritative, projecting his intellectual credibility. Well, he knew he was going to quit too. That's the other thing. When you know you're going to quit, you don't give a F. A succession of celebrity guests, along with the series correspondents, will host The Daily Show when it returns in the new year. If any of the latter emerge as a permanent replacement, it's likely to be Roy Wood Jr. Roy Wood Jr. is not good. So, okay, I'll sum up with this. We're closing in on an hour. So, a Noah hire and the correspondent will be the most multifaceted talent and appeal. Whoever ultimately gets the job won't have big shoes to fill, as Noah did when Stewart left, but the task is formidable nonetheless. The series' influence has rendered it inessential. Even Stewart struggles to get ratings or buzz for his new Apple TV series, The Problem with Jon Stewart, in an oversaturated field where TV hosts not only have to contend with one another, but with clever takes on social media, which are posted hours before the late night comedy shows make it to air. Well, but who has Apple TV, really? Relatability is a high wire act to maintain, just as Ellen DeGeneres or James Corden. But some kind of authenticity will remain necessary for any political comedian who wants to resonate with their audience. These days, viewers always want to know where you're coming from. Oh, but that's the other thing too. If you're coming from a place where again, like I said, he was ultimately detached. He didn't care. He had nothing at stake. I remember Jon Stewart, Rob. No, on the other hand, I don't even know he existed if it wasn't for your show. I'm much more conservative than Jon Stewart, but I found him hilarious. The Daily Show was on British TV for a while. I was gutted when the diversity dude replaced him. Look up John Lassette and Liz Truss, who was trying to be PM. Yeah, I pulled him up. I'll watch some of it later. Just as Jeopardy should have died with Trebek, the Daily Show should have been canned. Yeah. You know what? You can carry on with the format, but call it something else. That's my biggest thing. Call it something different. The Daily Show. No, don't call it The Daily Show. Just call it something different, because obviously it's not the same show. I had Apple TV through a 3-month program for LG. Apple TV has some nice shows. Well, the ideas are right, but that whole thing is just so damn woke. You can't watch it without puking. Yeah, I mean, that's always the problem. The Apple TV. Well, the other thing too is, like I said, it's not enough to have. So you throw somebody into the fire. It's one thing. I mean, he could have succeeded if they said, "Hey, listen, John's gonna leave. We think John's gonna leave. We have a few people that we're considering hosts. You're one of them. So we want you to be a correspondent, learn the show, learn the ins and outs, study up. We're going to give you 6 months to a year."
No, well, they didn't want him though. Remember, he was like the last choice.
He was the fifth guy down. He was the fifth guy down the list. They offered it to Amy Schumer. They offered it to Chris Rock. They offered it to a couple other people. And they all said no.
Amy Schumer and Chris Rock are terrible choices.
Yeah.
Chris Rock's awful though.
And like I said, you're going to, I think, this is my opinion, okay? If you're going to continue the show, if you're going to continue the Daily Show, you're going to have to go outside this crop of correspondents that Trevor Noah hired. Why? Because they still have the stench of his failure on it. You're going to have to look outside, okay? You're going to have to look outside, and you're going to have to really look for someone. Hail. What?
Hire Roblox.
Oh God, I would have an aneurysm doing that show. Hey, fuck it. You want to get? Hey, listen.
Yeah, you'll be there next to Lewis Black. Yell about all this politics.
I saw Lewis Black. Lewis Black said they didn't even give me audition even as a courtesy. Lewis Black said I had been there the longest out of anybody. They didn't even offer me an audition.
It's too white.
They didn't offer Samantha B an audition.
She's terrible though.
Well, but the idea she was the one with the most seniority. They didn't even, and a lot of people said Tina Fey. I'm like, no, Tina Fey has a successful writing career. She's not going to slum it on basic cable.
She's terrible too.
They offered it. They offered they offered it. They offered it to Amy Schumer. She turned it down. Nope, sorry. Can't remember. They offered it to Chris Rock. Chris Rock only wanted to do it for a year.
Well, they'll make more money out of it. You almost need an up and comer.
I say, like I said, you're gonna have to look outside of the current hosts because
I think their problem is basic cable budget. Where are they gonna get it?
you're gonna have to get someone from the outside. You're gonna have to get someone on the outside. And listen, don't. It'll be now. Crowder might. Yeah, don't get Crowder.
That'll be who they'll get then.
Don't you get Crowder? That's boy.
Who's the left wing version of Crowder? That's what they want.
Sam Cedar. And I originally said
He's
Sam,
not funny though.
but he has that self-effacing style though.
You need like a funny. As much as I hate Crowder, at least I can.
Well, if you ever notice, like I said, who would? That's tough. That's a tough call. That really is a tough call. Not all of it needs to go on forever. No, it doesn't really need. No, I mean, it's a tough call. If you're gonna, like I said, if you are gonna continue it, then you need to go outside the current crop of hosts, get someone new, someone who's completely disassociated with Trevor Noah and this current iteration of the Daily Show. If not, end it and rebrand it into something else, the Rundown or whatever.
The
rub out. Rob's rub out. Rob's rub out. Because if you get me to host the Daily Show, Daily Show host Rob Robot Shlomo collapsed on set today for an apparent heart attack. Oh God, that would be bad. So anyway, so let's, like I said, so that's it. So like I said, you didn't even break $500,000 for your final show. How fucking pathetic is that? And for the people who say, "Oh, but he had record engagement," those segments he bought on YouTube that have over 1 million views, those were run as ads. Those were run on ads on things like on the Amazon's Fire Stick, and on your channel, on Mega's channel, and on Roku. And yes, he is useless. Those were run as ads, so you have no choice but to see him. There was a young lady, country singer by the name of Caroline Jones. She has like 28 million views on her YouTube video, one of her songs, and because it was run as an ad. It was run as an ad on Amazon's YouTube app. It's run as an ad on your phone. It's run on ad. It's run as an ad on a lot of things. So that's their way of padding their numbers. So anyway, that's the most I'll say about that. So I'll probably have more to say, but So Joe Lissette, I'm gonna have to watch him. And let's go over, week 14 NFL scores. Let's go over the scores. Time for sports. Time for sports. Sounds like a sneaky YouTube album. Yeah, I tried to force everyone to buy our album by giving away for free. but that didn't work. People rejected it. They didn't want it. I couldn't even give away our records for free. How you like that? As a man in a tin shack living in El Salvador, he doesn't get to vote. Pay no attention to the Italian sports car behind me. I'm Bono. How are you? I'm Bono. Sports. So we got scores. The Thursday night game, Raiders losing to the Rams 17-16. Vikings losing to the Detroit Lions 34-23. The Ravens taking on the Steelers, beating them 16-14. The Bengals over the Browns, the Battle of Ohio 23-10. The Jets losing to the Bills 20-12. The Cowboys over the Texans 27-23. The Eagles giving a world-class drubbing to your New York Football Giants 48-22. Yeah, that's a painful one. That one hurts. The Titans losing to the Jaguars 36-22. Chiefs up over the Broncos today as a final 34-28. The Panthers leading the Seahawks with 1:56 left to go in the fourth quarter, 30-17. The Buccaneers losing badly to the 49ers, 35-7, 6:58 to go in the fourth quarter. Your late game tonight is the Chargers taking on the Miami Dolphins, and your Monday Night Football. Dun 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 dun. The Cardinals taking on the New England Patriots. So there is your NFL scores for week 14. So everybody, do we have animal news? I don't know if we have animal news. Animal news. Little Christopher the cat, as I've been following on Instagram, he's doing very well. He's a little cutie pie. He looks like a normal cat now. He looks like a normal cat. He looks like a normal kitty cat. Animal news. Milwaukee. Okay. Us influencer. Okay. 3 bald. Oh, okay. Ooh. Okay, that's not good. Okay. What we got? Cat cam. They're sleeping. Christopher okay, lots of bad news. Okay, well, okay. No, we want bad news. Well, New York City puppy swims across the Hudson River. Okay, well, Christopher the cat is doing well. So I've been following his Instagram. This puppy swam across the New York as the Hudson River. Let's go with that one. He was rescued. Mm-hmm. So this has a happy ending, Fortune. So okay, so yeah, I'm gonna try to wrap this up here. Oh, there he is, the little guy. New York City puppy rescued after swimming across the Hudson River to New Jersey. Some people really want to get out of the city, don't they? The Lone Burger Bernese Mountain Dog mix was returned to his owner after being saved by a group of firefighters. Bear, a Leonberger Bernese Mountain Dog mix, has spent the past week taking the sights of New York City after getting lost and swimming across the Hudson River. Now that's a long way. That's a long way. And if anyone's ever been to New York, I mean, yeah, the Hudson, that's not an easy swim. He swam all the way to New Jersey. His owner, Ellen Wolpin, joked in an interview with NBC New York affiliate that the 6-month-old pup completed his duathlon in his adventure throughout the city. He ran 1.5 miles and swam across the Hudson, which I think is about 1 mile. Wolpin told the station that she purchased Bear last week from a breeder in Montana. She wanted to train the puppy to be a service dog for her son, who suffers from seizures. Bear was adjusting to his new life on the Upper West Side when he got loose from his collar on December 3rd. Wolpin said she was walking Bear to the pet store. Yeah, she is. She's very wealthy. To get a harness when he ran away. According to NBC New York, Bear ran about 30 blocks before plunging into the chilly river. A person nearby saw him doggy paddling, but then lost sight of the dog. I didn't even know the dog could swim, Wolpin said. I ran home and I called 911. They had patrol boats for hours on Saturday. They couldn't find him. Oh, there he is. Yeah, I guess so. She did not think Bear would return and said her family was sad the entire weekend. My son kept asking, "Where's Bear?" I didn't know what to tell him, she shared. Then, during the early morning hours on Tuesday, December 6th, Wolpen received a call from Edgewater, New Jersey Fire Department that said Bear had been rescued beneath the pier at Independence Harbor. The brave pup was safe. I thought somebody was joking with me because there's no way, Wolpen said. He was out for 2.5 days by himself. She added, I cannot thank the fire department and the police department enough. From my understanding, they were there for about 5 hours trying to get him from under the pier. Now Bear is smelly and a little tired, but he's been reunited with his family. Hopefully swimming in the Hudson is over because he came back, he was very stinky. Bear is back to spending his days getting used to his new home and his family. He will also have another friend to play with. While he was missing, Walpen contacted the Montana breeder and asked for a second dog for his son, just in case. Looks like Bear will get to reconnect with his brother soon. So there's Bear. There's a little boy. There's a little.
Replace him and not tell the kid.
I'm
so rich, I could just buy another one.
So there's the Upper West Side. Bear swims across the Hudson River. So
we should rescue that puppy from Rich Bitch.
Yeah. So there's, like I said, Steve Romo. So like I said, that's quite a long way, actually. There's New Jersey. Like I said, I've heard of people wanting, being desperate, doing anything to get out of the city, but this is ridiculous. That's ridiculous, man. So there's Bear. Oh, look at it, so sad. Hold on, we're gonna see. But there's a happy ending. See there, he ran up 30 blocks and then swam to Edgewater. We hear barking. There was mud. I think access to pier get out of that. Oh. Okay, so.
But he was out there for 2.5 days by himself.
Firefighters with the Edgewater Volunteer Fire Department posting this photo.
Oh, look at the little guy. Look at the little guy. He's so cute. Look at the little guy. You're going home, bud, okay? You're going home. Going home to your happy family.
Cold and wet, but alive.
I cannot thank the fire department and the police department enough. From my understanding, they were out there for about 5 hours.
So that's the lady who
underneath the pier.
The Wolpen family happy to have Bear back home after a long
last time
journey.
you're going swimming.
I was telling people he did his own little duathlon. He ran a mile.
Okay, lady,
half.
you're a little too.
His own little duathlon. I told you she talked like that. I told you she had that voice.
All right, Bear is back. Please don't send me back to New York City. After he reached New Jersey, Doug said, call me Snake. Call me Snake. All right, everybody. Yeah, he was recreating his own version of Escape to New York. Surprised the dog didn't get mugged. Emu Wars 2, Humans 1. Emus 2. Okay, everybody. That's the news. Bear is safe and sound, back with his family. We'll check in with Mr. Zabu again. Mr. Zabu. Let's check in with Agent Orange Cat again. Agent Orange Cat is sleepies. They're both sleepies. They're both doing well. Okay. And there we go. All right, everybody. That's our show for today. Hour 23 minutes. Everybody, I'd like to thank everybody in the chat. Clint Matthews, Steve Botham, Sandra Hammerslag, Senior Sticks, Mr. MH, Cosmic Yog, Sloth, Donnie Pearson, Pegleg Pete, Steve Botham, Michael Keller, more Steve Botham, more Michael Keller, Sandra Hammerslag, the other guy, that other guy, and this other guy here, and Lady Viking, who's not in the chat anymore, and everybody else. If I don't mention you, don't feel bad. And Andrew Helm, and everybody. If you don't feel bad, if you don't mention your name, don't feel bad. And I'm rapping right now. And hop over to Mecca's channel right now. Colin Ewan, hop over to Mecca's channel right now to get some cookies. Let me drop the link in the chat while I'm stretching. Stretch. Are you live right now? Okay, stretch, decorate cookies. Okay, hold on. Aminal news. Let me drop the link in the chat, okay?
There you go.
Okay, here we go. Okay, there's the link. There's the link. And everybody head on over to Mecca's channel. Everyone, have a good rest of your day. Have a good Sunday. Have a good week. Have a good everything. Take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. No drinking, no driving. We want to see you back here again. And as always, we will see you next time.